Vimbuza dance. And so now I'd like for us to put our hands together to welcome Ensemble Arts as they give us their Vimbuza. dance performance. Welcomed to this event. And like I said, it's being held under the auspices of the Ministry of Labor and Social Security. And the permanent secretary in the ministry is Mr. Chanda Kazia. And now we invite him to come and give us the welcoming remarks. Let's give him a big round of applause, shall we?
Thank you very much, Master of Ceremony. And once again, thank you very much, Honorable Minister, for having accepted to officiate on this very important day. I ride on the protocols that the Master of Ceremony has indeed given us. Honorable Minister and the members of the general public and those that are following us online, we are here to commemorate the World Day for Safety and Health at Work at Mungushi International Conference Center. Honorable Minister, this is an important day for all the workers and the employers. It's a very important day for our tripartite structure in ensuring that we are always looking out for occupation safety and health at places of work. It's a day that reminds us of where we are coming from in terms of looking at the welfare of workers at the place of work. And Honorable Minister, this year we are commemorating this day under the theme Anticipate, Prepare, and Respond to Crisis. Invest now in resilient occupation safety and health systems. That is the theme for this year. Honorable Minister, you may wish to know that we have done some policy consultative processes and it has been launched, and we hope that we should be able to move and strengthen occupation safety and health at places of work. Honorable Minister, mine is a very short one, only to welcome you and welcome the general public, those that are following us online and those that are here. We want to appreciate you once again for coming, and please, thank you very much.
Thank you so very much, Mr. Kazia, for those brief but concise remarks welcoming us to this occasion. And now we have very important stakeholders who have words that they would like to share with us. And the first one to share is the International Labour Organization. And representing the International Labour Organization is Ms. Penny Munkoa, but we also have a video address. And so I'd like for us to turn our attention now to the screens as the video address from ILO will be played for us. Before we put Director Kashinka in trouble, he is with the Ministry of Labor and Social Security, not the International Labour Organization. We do apologize for that mix-up. We did receive a video from ILO, and if we're having some technical challenges in playing it right now, we may just have to move on and have it played a little later. Okay, we just have to do some. Okay, so we will call on the next person to address as we continue to attempt to rectify that shortcoming. And the Zambia Federation of Employers are here with us today. And Ms. Myra S. Ngoma is representing ZFE. I'd like to invite her now to come and address us on this occasion. Let's give Ms. Ngoma a big hand, shall we? She makes her way here.
Good morning, Honorable Minister. Morning, ladies and gentlemen. Good morning. Thank you. The guest of honor, Minister of Labor, Social Security, Honorable Minister Joyce Nonde MP, the President of ZCTU here present, the Director, International Labour Organization, responsible for Zambia, Malawi, and Mozambique, Mr. George Okuto, who is present through the online. The Permanent Secretary, Minister of Labor, Mr. Chanda Kazia, senior government officials, distinguished guests, colleagues from the media, ladies and gentlemen. We are grateful to be part of this commemoration of the World Day for Safety and Health at Work that falls each year on 28th April, and the launch of Occupation Safety and Health COVID-19 guidelines. Guest of honor, ladies and gentlemen, safety in the workplace is one of the key elements that are required in every workplace to make a workplace conducive for a productive work. The theme for this year's commemoration calls for anticipation, preparation, responding to the crisis, and investing in resilient occupational safety and health systems. This is a timely call, given that currently the world of work locally and globally has been hit by the COVID-19 pandemic, which has posed a big health risk to workers, especially the frontline workers. To this effect, and with this year's theme, employers out there have invested in the safety of their workers, not only in line with the health guidelines provided by the Ministry of Health, but also in line with the Factories Act, Cap 441 of the laws of Zambia, which is the current legislation on OSH, though currently under review. Guest of honor, ladies and gentlemen, ZFE and its members are totally committed to ensuring that there is adequate investment towards OSH in our industries. ZFE has over the past years helped over 1,500 companies develop OSH workplace policies whose implementation has resulted in the recruitment of OSH managers, and in most cases, occupational safety and health has become a department on its own. ZFE is therefore glad to inform the nation through this gathering that employers have put OSH among the strategic business goals and have built infrastructure and management systems that are supporting the OSH set standards. Employers are, however, mindful of the fact that attaining work safety is not a one-off thing, but a process that needs systems that can support it. To this effect, ZFE is grateful that we now have a draft policy on OSH and its implementation plan, which the government, through a consultative process, has so far developed under the Ministry of Labor and Social Security. We therefore take this opportunity to commend Minister of Labor and Social Security and her team in the ministry for the work well done so far, and at the same time, call on the same ministry to expeditiously complete this work in order for the country to have an approved national OSH policy and guide everyone in the management of OSH in the world over. Congratulations, Honorable Minister. We welcome and commend the government for developing the occupational safety and health COVID-19 guidelines, which are being launched today, and hope that both the public and private sector will find the guidelines helpful in the management of the COVID-19 pandemic in the workplace. Guests of honor, ladies and gentlemen, as we commemorate this World Day for Safety and Health, ZFE wishes to call on the workers and employers throughout the country to come to the realization that key to attainment of workplace safety is cultivation of a culture that collaboration between workers and management in every enterprise, and that this must be the way to go. Well, it is a responsibility of employers to ensure that there are safety measures developed in every workplace. It is also a responsibility for every employee to observe those safety measures at any given time. We wish all the workers in this country a safe and healthy environment and free of accidents. Thank you.
Thank you very much. That was Ms. Myra Ngoma from the Zambia Federation of Employers speaking to us. Now, earlier we had called on the ILO, and they're actually joining us by virtual link. And speaking to us from the International Labour Organization is Ms. Penny Monkoa. And so now let's just turn our attention to the screens as she addresses us virtually from the ILO offices.
Thank you, Director of Ceremony. Honorable Minister of Labor and Social Security, esteemed dignitaries, esteemed Permanent Secretary, esteemed representative of Employers ZFE, esteemed representative of Workers ZCTU, Director of the program, distinguished guests and members of the media, ladies and gentlemen, all protocols observed. It is my great honor to have the opportunity on behalf of the ILO to commemorate the World Day for Safety and Health with you under the theme Anticipate, Prepare, and Respond to Crisis, Invest Now in Resilient OSH Systems. Director of the program, by mid-2020, over 2.7 billion workers, representing about 81% of the world's workforce, were already affected by partial and full lockdowns. While lockdowns were the most effective infection rate containing measures, they rapidly translated into threats or loss of livelihood for about 85% of Africa's employed population, which makes a living in the informal economy. Today, 2021, as we took stock of and relive the events and struggles of the past year and some months, it becomes evident that building resilience is the only route to fast from the current and future crises. This year's theme, Anticipate, Prepare, and Respond to Crisis, Invest Now in Resilient OSH Systems, captures the global experiences and interpretations of the full year of some successful and some failed strategies to mitigate the impact of COVID-19. The ILO's findings revealed that up to 20 to 30% of the new COVID-19 infections in some of the surveyed countries might be attributed to workplace exposures. The theme direct program invites countries to examine the most critical elements of the national OSH systems that are articulated by Article 4 of Convention 187, one of the ILO's instruments on OSH. The elements include the national OSH regulatory frameworks, the national OSH institutional frameworks, including the competent authorities, occupational health services, information advisory services and training on OSH, data correction and research on OSH, and strengthening of OSH management systems at enterprise level to prevent and respond to OSH risks. Director of Program, allow me to elaborate briefly on these elements, just to demonstrate the cost of erratic applications of OSH functions and attest to benefits of investing into the system approach. Director of the Program, sound and responsive national policies and legislation on labor and OSH plays a pivotal role in a country's OSH systems. It is, however, said to note that usually these lag decades behind social, environmental, and technological changes and other dynamics affecting the labor market. Such state of affairs deprives countries opportunities to constantly dialogue on emerging issues and proactively adapt to new contexts and emergencies. In practice, Director of Program, there are multiple authorities designated with OSH responsibilities in many countries, and Zambia is not exempt from this. These bodies and authorities play a major role in promotion of occupational safety and health at national level, implementation of national OSH policy, and enforcement of legal provision. Such roles require them for these bodies to be equipped, coordinated, and known to public as credible sources, especially during the times of crisis. The importance of Occupational Health Services Director of Program is yet to be well grasped, especially in developing economies. However, where these are adequately applied, the functional occupational health services enable the tracking of confirmed and suspected cases, tracing of contacts and potential contagions, profiling of exposures and risks, identifications of vulnerable groups of workers, as well as the relevant notifications to public health and social security authorities during the pandemic. Director of the program, employers and workers in collective and individual capacities benefited from training and OSH advisory services in areas such as risk assessment and control measures, teleworking, and return to work procedures. While cooperation and collaboration opportunities were realized through this, there continues to be an extreme pressure on OSH national authorities and bodies to produce and avail the timely and up-to-date information in face of limited OSH competence and research capacity. OSH data is central to effective OSH systems. Collection and utilizations of accurate data enables countries not only to ascertain the realities of OSH situations and disseminate up-to-date information, but also to assess the effectiveness of the legal provisions and inform the development and updating of the responsive regulatory frameworks. The ILO notes with the growing concern the poor applications and ratification rate of Protocol 155. The instruments providing for establishment of national systems for recording, notification of occupational accidents, occupational diseases, dangerous occurrences, commuting accidents, and suspected cases of occupational diseases. Director of Program, the ILO's guidelines on occupational safety and health management system as published in 2001, emphasized, among others, the responsiveness to the real needs of enterprises according to their size and the nature of their activities. This reiterates the need for government to recognize challenges faced by the SMEs and informal economy and devise support mechanism for progressive improvement of all conditions for this. The guidelines further encourage the integration of the emergency prevention, preparedness, and response arrangements into the OSH functions, backed by established cooperation with the external emergency services and other bodies. Director of the program, national systems on OSH, weak or strong, are important pillars of the crisis response. Investing in them and building them into resilient systems will aid governments, employers, workers, and other stakeholders in responding to current pandemic and provide foundations to respond to other unforeseen events and crises that might occur in the future. Director of the program, allow me to join the previous speakers in recognizing and commending Zambia for some efforts and achievements that the government of Zambia and social partners, as well as the stakeholders, have so far realized as striving to achieve better standards of occupational safety and health and contain the impact of COVID-19. The achievements include the establishment of the OSH Center of Excellence, the development of yet to be adopted national OSH policy, as well as the implementation of the Return to Work program, through which the guidelines on OSH and COVID-19 were developed. These are very important elements of the crisis recovery and resilience building. Hence, investment into their capacitation and implementation will not be in vain. In conclusion, I wish to reaffirm the ILO's availability to support the promotion, ratification, and adequate application of the standards so countries, including Zambia, achieve a culture of safety and health and social dialogue, which are key to recovery and resilience. I thank you for your kind attention and listening.
Security, Honorable Joyce Nondes Mukoko, MP, the Permanent Secretary in the Ministry of Labor and Social Security, Mr. Chanda Kazia, the President FOFTUZ, the members of the ZCT Executive Board present here. May I also recognize the acting President of the Zambia Federation of Employers, the Director, ILO,
represented through virtual. In our midst also, may I recognize the chairperson of the Workers' Compensation Control Board, also the CEO, she is present. Invited guests, members of the press, ladies and gentlemen, I bring you greetings from the workers of Zambia who are also participants on this OSH Day. It is indeed a pleasure to be given this opportunity on behalf of the trade unions to make some remarks. This day brings us together as partners to commemorate the International Occupation Safety and Health Day. We commemorate the World Day for Safety and Health at Work on this day in order to promote the prevention of occupational accidents and diseases. It is an awareness-raising campaign intended to focus attention on emerging challenges in the field of occupation, safety, health, and also in the magnitude of world-related injuries, diseases, and fatalities at work. This year, we are observing this day under the theme, Anticipate, Prepare, and Respond to Crisis. Invest now in resilient occupation, safety, and health systems. We realize that the great challenge that governments, employers, workers, and society as a whole are facing is combating the COVID-19 pandemic. The World Day for Safety and Health at Work will focus on addressing the outbreak of infectious diseases at work, focusing on COVID-19 pandemic particularly. In this line, with this year's theme, we would like to use this opportunity, Honorable Minister, to raise awareness and stimulate dialogue on the importance of creating and investing in resilient health systems, drawing both regional and country examples in mitigating and preventing the spread of COVID-19 at the workplace. At the same time, however, trade unions would like to use this day to make a demand, and the demand is that health and safety is a fundamental workers' right. We are making a demand that healthy and safety is a fundamental workers' right. This is our campaign theme as trade unions. We want to send a message that health and safety protection at work must be recognized as a right for all. Whether it is COVID or occupational cancers or workplace injuries and industrial diseases, every worker should have a right to a voice and the right to protection. No one should have to die to make a living. The COVID-19 pandemic has led governments, employers, workers, and the general population to face unprecedented challenges in relation to the virus and many effects it has had on the world of work. The pandemic also has demonstrated why health and safety must be a right for everyone who works. Illness anywhere threatens also the world of this day. Honorable Minister, will also focus on strategies to strengthen national occupations, safety and health systems to build resilience in order to face crisis now and in the future. Honorable Minister, the ZCTU and the workers of Zambia therefore joins the World Trade Union movement in campaigning for safer, healthier, and better workplace occupational health and safety in other areas where we are saying this is critical to any workplace, and we urge employers to take this call seriously. We further call on social partners to commit to working towards a significant reduction and subsequent eradication in workplace fatalities and injuries. The ZCTU and the workers of Zambia would like to reiterate that prevention is the only cure to workplace hazards. To achieve this, the workers demand an end to workplace accidents and illness through the ratification and domestication of core ILO OSH Convention 155, 161, and 187, together with the development of workplace policies, adoption of OSH-sensitive collective bargaining agreements. In conclusion, I would like to present the following posters to you, Honorable Minister, to summarize what I've said, so that at the end of the day, this speech will be clearly demonstrated through those posters in summary. In the first place, workers' demands and expectations can only be done through your support and the support of the OSH policy, which we have put in place, and we see how best we can go. In the first place, we have a poster on our campaign demand to make occupational safety and healthy a fundamental workers' right. To make occupational health and safety a fundamental workers' right. We want to display this poster to you, Honorable Minister, which is our demand that occupational health and safety is a fundamental workers' right. That's a poster, Honorable, at the far end there. Probably you can bring it closer to the cameras and the Honorable Minister. You bring it in front, and finally hand it over to the Honorable Minister. I wonder if the other high table people have seen it before you hand it over. Okay, Honorable, that's our demand. We demand that occupational health and safety should be a fundamental workers' right. We also have a poster on this year's theme, which is calling on government and employers to anticipate, prepare, and respond to crisis. Invest now in resilient occupational safety and health systems. The man with the chimpompo there, I've forgotten the what do you call a chimpompo in English? Yes, can you hand it over, move around to the cameras? And finally, hand it over. In this one, Honorable, we are merely in support of this year's theme to invest now in resilient occupation safety and health systems. We still agree and support our theme this year, which is quite timely for us to invest in the systems. We have yet another poster which highlights the fact that fighting the COVID-19 pandemic must be every citizen's concern. Fighting the COVID-19 pandemic must be every citizen's concern. That's the one coming over there. Fighting COVID-19 pandemic must be every citizen's concern. We expect every citizen, especially Zambians, to respond to the fight for the pandemic, follow the guidelines, and distribute our concern, especially the workers, so that the repercussion cannot be so hazardous to the country and its citizens. The other poster is asking us to stop the pandemic and that adequate safety and health measures can save lives. Adequate safety and health measures can save lives. We have to stop the pandemic and that adequate safety and health measures can save lives. There's a poster coming over there. We should stop the pandemic adequate safety and health measures can save lives. So this particularly, Honorable, can still be another of our frontliners and the workers of Zambia, so that there is no stoppage in the productivity, especially that your ministry has invested a lot in the policy on productivity. So if we invest in safety, there should be no stoppage in the productivity. The final poster talks of promoting an occupational safety and health preventive culture. Promoting an occupational safety and health preventing culture. This one, I think my CEO from Workers' Compensation will like it, because I think it will be in line with the zero campaign. We see promoting an occupational safety and healthy preventive culture, where everyone should be saying no to hazardous situations until we zero-rate them. Let us promote an occupational safety and health preventive culture. Let's zero-rate such. Thank you very much. Honorable Minister, ladies and gentlemen, thank you, and I wish all the stakeholders and workers a memorable Occupational Health and Safety Day. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so very much, Mr. Cosmos Mokuka, the Secretary General of the Zambia Congress of Trade Unions. Thank you as well for the posters that you've presented to our minister. I'm sure we'll find a very good place to hang them for everybody to see. And we may remember this day and the messages that you put to us. Now, ladies and gentlemen, allow me to invite the Permanent Secretary in the Ministry of Labor and Social Security, Mr. Chanda Kazia, to come forward and invite our guest of honor, the Honorable Minister, to address us. Mr. Kazia, sir.
Thank you very much, Master of Ceremony. I think the minister will speak from where she's seated unless she's comfortable coming over here, but I think she should be able to speak from where she's sitting. Honorable Minister, it's my singular honor and privilege to invite you to address the day, and also to actually assure the workers of this great country that their concerns will be addressed. Honorable Minister.
Thank you very much, PS. I ride on the protocols as outlined by the previous speaker, and I thank you all for coming. However, before I go into my speech, I would like to state that from the Ministry of Labor's point of view, we have observed that we don't know what is safety at a workplace. After visiting quite a number of institutions, we are very comfortable sitting in places that are very, very dangerous. So I'm appealing to the employers that I will be making prompt visits to workplaces, and I don't want to find only the management team's offices are clean or safe. When we let people work in places that are not safe and they become sick and die, God is very clear. For those who read the Bible, I will judge the leaders harshly. Because if you feel comfortable as a leader in your office and the other workers where they are working, the places are not safe, then just wait for your turn when you finally die. So let's be serious about some of these things. We visited a farm, the white man's farm, some time back. And when they saw the vehicles coming, they asked the workers to run for their lives. And they all scattered all over in the bush where they were working from. You would cry. At one point, I thought we were not independent. Because if we have young children today who don't know their rights, it's as good as not being independent. We visited where they sleep, because they used to go and sleep at a workplace because of the nature of their jobs, and then went home after 5 days. You couldn't believe it was happening in Zambia. And I was wondering where the Employers Association are, because you are part of the syndicate. You should talk to your employers to to treat the workers, the junior staff, as human. It was it was really frightening. I couldn't believe it, that it was happening in Zambia. And I'm cautioning the foreign investors to stop it. Because I know for a fact that in developed countries, you can't treat workers like that. But when we come to Zambia or Africa, we want to behave differently. Africans are also human beings. So we are also appealing to you workers to know your rights. That's why the problem is. You don't read. We have all the very good statutes as Zambia on labor. But we don't read. We have chosen not to read. My people perish because of lack of knowledge. So when you go to hell, when you die finally, God will ask you why you were suffering. And God will tell you there were statutes there you never read. So go to your left. That's what I imagine. So dear colleagues, let's develop a reading culture. It's very, very important. When you know your rights, no one will push you around. But when they see, mind you, the employer and employee have conflicting interests, especially in a liberalized economy. The worker is interested in a fair return for their sweat. An employer is interested in maximizing profits. So buying safety boots is a cost on an employer. And the employer will very much try and avoid buying those things as much as possible. But if you are late and you know your rights, you demand your rights from the employer. But if you choose to be ignorant, don't blame government, blame yourself. So I'm calling upon the employees to ensure that they know their rights, they know what is due to them, and they demand what is due to them. I think that's the way we are going to progress. As for the workers' representatives, I think let's intensify workers' education so that our young people, especially now we have young workers coming on board, know their rights. So otherwise, ignorance has no defense. In Zambia, we have ratified Convention 155, and I think 187 as well, isn't it, PS? So we need to also understand and read these conventions so that we can defend ourselves. Another area of concern is the informal sector, and I think ILO will talk to it, has spoken to it, and they are doing a lot, ILO, to help us manage the informal sector. So we need to ensure that all our people are met and all the issues that pertain to their rights are definitely addressed. I don't know whether I've left anything about country. Okay. So I go to my speech. I bring you greetings, as I said, from the President of the Republic of Zambia, who is very concerned about health and health safety at workplaces. And when we repeat to him how far we have done the work together, he will definitely be comfortable and pleased. So, ladies and gentlemen, all protocols observed. It is my privilege and honor to be with you this morning to officiate at the commemoration of the 2021 World Day for Safety and Health at Work. I will equally launch the Occupational Safety and Health COVID-19 guidelines. This year's commemoration is being held under the theme, Anticipate, Prepare, and Respond to Crisis. Invest now in resilient occupational safety and health systems. Ladies and gentlemen, the theme underscores the importance of anticipating and preparing for unforeseen circumstances, such as the COVID pandemic. The theme resonates well with the guidelines being launched today, which are aimed at building workplaces that are resilient to immediate and future risks. Distinguished guests, as you are aware, Zambia has not been spared from the COVID pandemic. The pandemic has brought unique occupational safety and health challenges to workplaces, making it difficult for companies and enterprises to continue operating at optimal levels. Ladies and gentlemen, the COVID pandemic is not only a threat to the safety and health of workers, but also poses a serious threat to the productivity of industries and their performance. The pandemic has adversely affected the world of work. Therefore, a shift to new forms of working arrangements, including teleworking, has been adopted. These new arrangements present opportunities for transformation in the way business is conducted. This is achieved through improved technology infrastructure needed to avert potential occupational safety and health risks. Ladies and gentlemen, government is focused on strengthening the national occupational safety and health system. In the wake of the COVID-19 pandemic, my ministry has developed occupational safety and health COVID guidelines. These are meant to ensure that workplaces continue to operate efficiently while reducing the risk exposure to COVID-19 at the workplace. I'm optimistic that these guidelines will help minimize the spread of COVID-19 in workplaces, promote occupational safety, and consequently minimize disruptions to the operations of the company businesses. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, I wish to indicate that improved workers' health, free from occupational diseases, remains priority for government. We will continue to work together in improving the occupational safety and health systems to guarantee the sustainability of companies in various sectors of the economy. Ladies and gentlemen, the need for the country to invest more in occupational safety and health management cannot be overemphasized. In this regard, let me call upon everyone to direct resources towards investing in resilient occupational safety and health systems based on anticipation, prevention, and management of risk. I want to emphasize on this. I know some people will say it's very expensive, but death of all the people will be more expensive. So let's not always give excuses of, no, it's very expensive to do A, B, C, D. What we are trying to do now is save lives. Without lives, there will be nothing on this earth. There must be people. So we have to really, really invest in this program. I also wish to urge employers and workers effective responses to deal with the continuously changing context of occupational hazard at the workplace. Ladies and gentlemen, the integration of health promotion measures into occupational safety and health management systems is an emerging issue. The workplace policies should be enhanced to ensure a safe and healthy work environment. As employers, government expects you to put in place appropriate control measures responding to occupational hazards and diseases. Distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, government will continue to uphold the principles of the Decent Work Agenda and international labor standards in line with the ILO Conventions 155 and number 187. We will continue to promote safety and health guidelines and standards at the workplace. As I conclude, allow me to thank the International Labour Organization and Workers' Compensation Fund Control Board for the continuing support towards the implementation of programs under the employment and labor sector. Ladies and gentlemen, allow me also to commend the organizers of this event, as well as our stakeholders and cooperating partners for making this event a success. To you, our distinguished invited guests, thank you for attending this event. This demonstrates the seriousness and commitment you attach to national duties. With these remarks, it is my honor and singular to launch the Occupational Safety and Health COVID Guidelines and declare the commemoration of the 2021 World Day for Safety and Health Day officially opens. May the good Lord bless you all. I thank you.
Thank you. Another big round of applause for our guest of honor,
Thank you.
Minister of Labor. Thank you. Thank you so very much, Mr. Simokoko. And I'm sure your solemn words at the beginning of your presentation have been seriously noted by the affected or the concerned stakeholders. And I'm sure a change will be seen very, very soon. But thank you indeed for launching the Occupational Safety and Health COVID-19 guidelines, and also for launching the commemoration of the Occupational Safety and Health Day. And now, before we go into the practical presentation and the cutting of the ribbons to signify the launch, we'd like for you to turn your attention to the screens. We have one more video that we'd like for you to watch. And so please, ladies and gentlemen, we have two screens on opposite sides of our hall. So let's turn our attention there now.
That is about 2 years after the maiden, commemoration of the Safety Day by ILO. We thought we should join in. We should not be left behind. And therefore, we organized ourselves and we equally started observing this day, 28th of April. And in 2005, we equally had our first World Day for Safety and Health commemorations in Zambia. Now, ever since that year, we have since never looked back. As every year, we, together with the workers' organization, and also the trade unions, we come together, and of course, other stakeholders, very important stakeholders, we come together and partner and commemorate this day. To this day, over the years, I think it has gained global significance, and over 100 of the member states of ILO do, commemorate to observe this very important day. Now, the theme for this year is anticipate, prepare, and respond to crisis. Invest now in the resilient occupational safety and health systems. Okay, so the focus really for this theme, in the theme that we are commemorating this day, is on strategies to strengthen WASH systems at the workplace in order to build resilience, also in order to face crisis now and in the future, drawing of course lessons and experiences that we've learned thus far from the work of work. Now, this actually calls for all employers of all forms of workplaces to direct their resources, direct their resources in investing in resilient safety and health systems, or resilience and prevention and management systems that will, will counter any emerging risk or any unforeseen circumstances or diseases that may flow the workplace. So it is rather the conventional way that we have been dealing with safety and health at work, or dealing with issues at the workplace, should not be the case this time around. We should be prepared for any eventualities. We should be well equipped in terms of systems in the workplace to counter any issue or any disease or any other issue that is related to safety and health of the residents at the workplace. So these systems really should, define our workplace now and in the near future. COVID-19 is an emerging disease, and which caught the workplace unaware. I would like to urge all stakeholders, all safety technicians, all workplaces, that even as we commemorate this day, please remember to follow the guidelines as given by the Ministry of Health. The COVID-19 guidelines. COVID-19 is real, and we just hope that you take every step to protect yourselves, your colleagues, and of course, your families, so that each and every one of you contributes to the workplace being safe. Let us put those systems in place. Let us commit ourselves to fight this COVID and any other emerging disease. Let us be ready.
My name is Yake Sita, Senior Doctors, Ministry of National Security. We are empowered to conduct an inspection to ensure that the country is compliant with the Countries Act, the 441 and the We have done the inspection and we have concluded the inspection. We are yet to meet the secretary and update you on our findings.
and we make sure that whoever comes to our plant, we inspect them fully. They follow the health guidelines on safety. Not only that, we are encouraging masking and hand sanitizing to all people who are coming to our plant and including our workers just immediately when entering the plant. We also get temperature records every day to ensure that we see who is sick and take him to the health facilities for further medications. Not only that, we have also encouraged social distancing as a way of combating this disease. As you can see, we can't work on such strategies, our companies may be closed. So as a safety officer from public cement plant, I'm encouraging other companies to do as well, so that we protect our workers and we protect our factories from being closed. Not only that, we also have weekly meetings on safety to teach our workers on how to protect themselves from hazards, different hazards. Not only that, we have also taken some strategies of collecting cabbages and dumping them on the right sites to prevent diseases, further spread of other diseases. So this is what I had for Lincoln Campaign. Therefore, I'm encouraging all other companies to follow these safety regulations and safety ways of doing works or occupation safety and health systems. This is what we are doing at Power, and we are encouraging other companies to do the same. Thank you very much.
The Ministry of Labor and Social Security for inviting me on behalf of wonderful group of companies to this event. With the commemoration of World Day for Safety and Health at 2021. This theme is, that I think what this year is anticipate, prepare, and respond to the crisis. As a company, one of group of companies, there's some policies in this thing to be same. Whereby in each and every event, on a daily basis, as of entry points, we've got some points whereby we do ad sanitizing in response to this. Not only that, each and every worker is mandated to mask up whenever they enter our plant. Not only for our own employees, even the customers, the visitors who come to our plant, it's mandated to mask up. In terms of social distance, is being observed in this company, which is wonderful. And not only that, in terms of safety, it's first priority about safety. So we do any healing task, we start with risk assessment, rather safety talk. For us to come up with a mission by completing that task given on that particular day, now as injured any person or damaging any company property. There's what we call hazard identification. After we identify the hazard, we come up with hazard control measures. And this, the best person who can do that are the people who have been assigned to do that particular job, that particular site. And the company is in support of where safety is concerned. Whenever safety departments like something, we always liaise with the management to come in and help wherever there's a crisis where safety is concerned. Thank you so much.
My name is Darling Sakari. I'm the environmental and safety coordinator for Zambia Employees in Lusaka. So as we commemorate World Safety Day, I just want to put up a few things that Zambia Employees will put in place to ensure that our people are safe. So some of these things that we're talking about is the safety protocol, which has been implemented to ensure that each and every employee, including service providers and contractors, are protected. So one thing that I want to start with is the issue of screening. So from the time COVID-19 pandemic came about, we introduced as a business the issue of screening from each and every entrance to the business. So this helps a lot to ensure that each and every person who comes on site is checked to ensure that they are COVID-free. So one of the other things that we put up in place is to ensure that we have an emergency room where we have to ensure that if someone's temperature is above normal, we need to ensure that we evacuate them and keep them in that room to wait for Minister of Health to come and attend to them. The other thing that the business introduced was to ensure that all the meetings that we used to have in our boardrooms were cancelled and we started having meetings on Zoom. This helped a lot to ensure that there was no physical interaction amongst the employees. And the business also introduced came up with a plan which we call ABC plan. So this ABC plan also helped to ensure that some people who are not supposed to be on site those shifts were meant to stay at home, and those who were meant to work from home were set to work from home, just to ensure that we reduce the number of employees on site. Only a few individuals who could not work from home are the ones who remained on site to ensure that COVID-19 was not spreading. The other thing that the business came up with was to ensure that the safety protocol concerning COVID-19 pandemic was shared amongst all the employees, service providers and contractors. So everyone was meant to read through the protocol and also sign to ensure that everyone is in support and accept the challenge of preventing COVID-19 pandemic. The other thing that we implemented on the supply side was to ensure that we put up the social distance requirements of 1.8 meters apart whenever we are working in one area to ensure that people are not in close proximity. This helped us a lot in areas like the team masks to ensure that each and every employee who came on site was protected. And the business has managed to ensure that no one has access to our site when they are not putting on masks. Also, putting on masks is not just the covering of your mouth, but you also need to ensure that you cover your nose as well. This helps us to ensure that there is no chance of spreading COVID-19. Remember, this is it's everyone's responsibility, and we are all accountable to ensure that we fight this pandemic which has come on board. Also talking about the issue of logistics side, because we received quite a number of trucks coming from external, we ensured that every time they come on site, and this is what we will continue doing. We disinfect the whole trucks and also ensure that hand sanitizers are made available to all the security personnel to ensure that we can give to our drivers and their assistants. The other thing that I want to talk about in March is that the management has ensured that every day we have sanitizer stations on each and every staircase, due to the fact that our policy is to ensure that once you're using staircases, you may as well need to hold your hand. We handle this pandemic in areas. Thank you.
A big round of applause indeed for all those companies and so many more that are observing these OSH, occupational safety and health guidelines, COVID-19 and every other health issue. And I think it gives us confidence that things are going well, things are going right. Of course, there may be a few cases here and there, but overall, I think the representation from the different sectors is quite adequate. And we're grateful indeed for the work that the ministry is doing in ensuring that these guidelines and these measures are put in place and adhered to. All right then, so with that understanding of what is actually going on, the realities on the ground regarding OSH, and after the launch of the guidelines by the minister, it is now time for the presentation of the guidelines document itself to the minister. I will ask the minister to kindly make her way in front of the table as it is presented by the group that is here, calling themselves Ensemble Arts. And they will now bring the document for the minister to practically launch. They'll present it in style. There we have it. A big round of applause, a big hand. That is National Safety and Health COVID-19 Guidelines document Republic of Zambia, Minister of Labor and Social Security. First few copies are being shared. Table. It's another big round of applause indeed for the launch of the guidelines documents. Thank you very much, Ensemble Arts, with that Tongosa, or the Infunkutu dance, presenting the document to the minister for the official ribbon cutting, commemorating the launch of the guidelines document. Now, to help put our event here in perspective further, the Ensemble Arts also, apart from dancing, they also do a bit of drama, and they have a presentation, a short presentation that they'd like to share with us at this moment. So we hand you back now to the Ensemble Arts with their drama presentation for this official launch. Ensemble Arts.
How can we cut out the volume for this?
Are you even working?
No, Karen is watching. Cut out that sound just a bit. Fine.
What is happening? Muliro majamtabe. Muliro tabe. Madam, okay. Na pesa TV. Tia, madam. Manje, wauza mafabrika yawe wala factory. Kama jamu tatanda ndo. Tusafanya factory. Ibe bada mbak factory. Na sina muliro. Ufunika kuwasha inform. Batumbo kambani basoda pale. Batumbo nchanja stika. Muliro. Bati majamu apatazimia. Okay. Unika kota betu miukiso. Tutongela mani. But are you safe for health? Very fit, madam. Very health. But since we are safe or health, Baribia. Onani mulibe ma safe goods. Mulibe overall. Mulibe papela mamena o madam. Not papela mamena watu kama basoni. Banali bantu pakamba. Ya, wenzetu. Osa milima wesha meso byale. Tunawezekana madam. Madam. Shut up. Ona ka. Madam babira mameno. Wetu mo face mat mulipi. Tuma tumulipi. Boss babira mameno. Mary. Wacha Mary za Mary. Uja. Wadumbu kwani mwizo pembe na faka. Na kamba munu hii wote kubambika mtakuzaji sana. Nambera kudala pale mpa. Nikalipo kama bintu bambi nambera tuyenga pende. So tamele chilipo hapa. Kampani imuonga sikobo lake. Okay. Izampa sana kashuru. Okay. Manje inenezo zina madam. Ulipe hivyo nzako huu. Okay. Nomba hapo sababu moyo wa mtu. Chilipo na kampani muonga sikobo. So nomba izampa sana Bese sana naibu. Izampa sana something. Okay. Atokeni. Sikobo madam. Yo darama. Tena futi we. Nomba ufweni. Imwe madam ona na kifenda ini. Lake atimpushishani. Nomba kana kifanga mwachitashani. Deti company pele lake eka. Ishi impia. Impia laki. Wala kana. Madam. Olopupasa watu wameno. Isesi. Ukawala anaba fresh yako. Madam. Anaba na wapasa. Madam, umbela bana wadungu. Sina nitaki kapukinye basi. Iwe ndio napa. Madam bana wadungu. Nazina kufunzana. Are you safe or health? What is that? Safe. Health pamoja. When you safe na health. Adumbo onani. Hauza ni madam. Onani company yake. Ni mbili madokumenti yangu nje. Mulisimenti, muli mapenti, muli vitu mbili kwa kampani. Kwa pesa kampani basi. Nanga nini? Ni hilo. Madam, wagogo tena straight. Tena zikala straight. Kampani ngatia kula chini. Kuti musebenzese. Mufunu kuita konzego. Andi mufunu kuchisebenzesa. Onani pano kalanga fire extinguisher. Sini hona. Bana dum. Mapesi ya box sini iwana. Bana to basi. Onani olasanti. Kulike mapaka kisanti. Madam. Hivyo na mvera bana mwaka. Ufosa nini? Ngatimana kunyumba aba olokoi muma kamba kuti. Nikawala. Hapo ndo makawala. Kawala la bukuru. Madam. Sasa sana. So mutantauza madam. Ija bandina chedwa kufold. Natenga wetsuit yanga. Naona mtu. Nizoni. Nani toka? Nazimia. Na tuwanchito tunakwenda. Hata ninaiko busy. Madam wewe mzazi na tukatamba kwa. So Tilimplati hapa tezo chakila chekina. Tezo ona kuti vitu vino lopanje. Vina vitapeza mafaya extinguisher. Anangene sapapo. Kwa yako alipe maski. That's why mapeza ni wakati. Alipe tuma hiyo. Ufosa walipe. Sasa walipe. Ni sapapo ya pia kuna kutia kwa siku. Anitambo kwa. Pati matoka kukampani manje mnanyo mafulo tuka samani bali mlipo na pera ku kwa mpita ya okay kambani tunaanza kambani safety and children okay premises company ya kila mtu more effective. Never business that personal protective. My workers, you have the obligation, the duty, to keep yourself safe. But we run away all the time. We need to anticipate, prepare, respond. First, if it's bad, Kafunga Madam, ifana kamba chilwa ngena ko muntu. Okay. Zona muntu afuna ukongana kusenzela. Maproxy, matani. Dawa kazeni wanga. Eze construction nzo manje. Okay. Bafaka ma ceiling mumamba. Eva wapasela ceiling yaenda kuno kwini. Ngeze tani chimbogo. Yapa ceiling. Inzo kwela mungu nikavuru. Pakatapa lumo pakati pa mutu. Yose kuna
a big hand, a very big hand for the ensemble arts. Oh yeah. They say a picture is worth 1,000 words. What more dramatization like this? It's worth more than 1,000,000. So thank you so very much. Now, ladies and gentlemen, we have come to, I think, a big highlight of our program today. And this is when, in line with our theme today of occupational safety and health, we have a team from the Ministry of Health that are here to give COVID-19 vaccinations. And we have asked for volunteers who are willing to be a part of the group that will receive their vaccinations today. And I'm reliably informed that the Honorable Minister has volunteered to lead the way in the receiving of the vaccinations. So we'll ask the Minister, together with those that are with her at the high table, to just make their way. Now, the place where the vaccination is being given is in the next building, just, I think, near the holding room that you were in a little earlier. I am told that we will be able to witness, for those of us that are in here, would have all loved for us to accompany her, but because of, this is Occupational Safety and Health Day, so we want to really maintain the minimum numbers due to COVID-19. So we have arranged for the feed, for the video feed to be shown through the screens. So as the minister and those with her at the high table make their way there, and as indeed or she, I don't know who else, but she will receive the vaccination, we'll be able to witness via the video link on the screens. And then after she's received her jab, and probably 1 or 2 more, she will come back here for the formal closing of our program. And then those of us that would also like to volunteer,
This is After registration, now that's what it's time for your life. So I go back. Where's my handbag? I have a good handbag. Let's see this.
So you sign your own death certificate and you sign your own declaration. Now we come to my devil in the detail. Just one time. That's it.
So starting from what is this? This is my here. What is this? Is this okay. And this is others, not to my knowledge. This is also. What is this? What is immunology? Another. What is this? What is that? Gases. Yeah. What about this? What is
For the next question. This one. This one also.
Ahora me pongo tú me con la gente para poder. Tu me chua. Só sou eu. Ah, nada tem mais aqui. Oi, você tá terminando. Eu gosto do motor. Acabou de dar uma coisa de sexo.
This I don't know.
That's what I did.
I just signed.
No, we're done.
I now go for the next one.
We need to see that. This is the most critical part.
Which side? This one? This side. The one they removed.
Which direction?
The left one.
Yes, the left one.
The left one.
So the next one is right.
God forgive me.
You're not even feeling it. So what?
And one more so much. Ala mwilanti nyama alale kande bila. I have
Next is me.
Oh, lovely. Thank you so much.
Honorable Minister, takala mfika nene banda sai.
No, takala mfika, don't even be scared.
Yes. Eh?
Don't even be scared.
Now it's me now. Okay.
I see. So as well, interview, when they give you the interview for COVID, they are able to speak with confidence.
Yeah, have you been vaccinated?
Here we go. Yeah, no, I'm ready when you're ready. Thank you.
Next.
Cosmas, GSC. Chingacha ni
Out I never. Musa check the pantans. Oh, here. Tulisembeleka. Siapa na tukuisha na kukuisha kale. Next.
Federation of Employers. Asakara. Asakara.
Enggak dapat dipain impos lah ke film. Apa tu kan mau berubah.
Kena kampi muka sah?
Kusenda ku.
Anjanita.
Who else is coming?
Meeting your queen, subject. Oh,
He has chosen, Chingat has chosen. Where is the dean for?
Yes, sir. No, tu puisa, no puisa.
No, puisa no. Video? Video. Oh, just for oh, mosquito ya gari These are my beautiful nurses who conducted the vaccination. Thank you. Yes, yes. So I thought you said that. How are you, sisters?
Oh, okay. Number makuposa ifama nani kan? Makuposa ma.
So
So mukeza pano mu July.
So mama alitunga kale twice.
Not twice.
First dose.
Madde kula tunga. Ukava yanga. Oh mu July futi.
Ngoyo mwenye matana umutunga.
How painful was it?
It was a flick.
Yeah.
It was a flick. You know the malaria blood taking is more painful.
Yes, that one is
Watungwa niki? Watungwa. Kama kona jinindo walende. Mabele mtu alitumia kwa namba za Disemba Julai. Julai. Au kama hivyo ile ni Julai shanya. Katika na oh yeah. They are saying
Where? Which clinic?
there's a clinic here.
Where? I thought you did some provincial.
There's a clinic here.
See, so, the stamp we don't have, but
You do it. Bakikala 10 minutes. Bakikala 10 minutes. Namba tureikala. Kunoko kunta.
This one.
it's yours.
Have you been injected yourself?
No.
Why? You can take a seat, we do it for you. You can ask your
Not go back or no.
No, they're beside that.
Kazia. Naba minister. Tuko po pana wanero tabalani. Nalambo ko panchito. Na
Mwajaya. I hope it's okay.
Hope so.
What this step somewhere. We hope but we'll end the show before it's there's some more. There's some more.
Na baya. Ndai machinje bati baya nala bati njikete kamero.
They will take you to ETH.
Oh my God. Nobody will collapse, please, in Jesus' name.
They are wrapping
That's after.
Congratulations, Minister. Thank you for showing leadership. Thank you. So it has been done. Yeah. The Honorable Minister has indeed led the way in receiving Compensation Fund Control Board. Congratulations to you as well. And also the directors, and I believe Mr. Mukuka did. Yes, Mr. Oh, wow, yeah.
Have witnessed today, and I'm sure that this is going to be put in good use in terms of making or taking action to whatever has been presented in this place. I was just reading through the guidelines, and I'm excited because basically these are matters concerning the workers and the employers inclusive. You know, it's not one-sided, it's all inclusive. And to us as workers representative, we're very happy, and we look forward to the actualization of what has been put in place. The launch has been very good, and we hope the government will be able to help us maximize in the usage of the inspectorate, as well as making sure that the working environment in every institution are done in accordance with what has been stipulated within the guidelines. To every one of us that attended, we want to thank you for participating. This is the way to go, and I hope and believe that definitely this will stay on to make sure that Zambia, even as the workers in our working places, it remains a good place and an accident-free environment where every one of us are going to freely work and enjoy what we are doing. With those few remarks, I thank you again, and I hope this will remain a matter that is going to be appreciated a long time to come. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Mr. Msiska, for that vote of thanks. That brings us to the end of our program here. An announcement, which I am quite sure will put smiles on your faces. You are all invited to lunch today, right here at the Mulungushi International Conference Center. And I believe lunch, it will be corrected if I'm wrong, but it should be served in the room next door, which I think is called Kafue or something. Yes, in Kafue. So for those of us after we've sang the national anthem and the guest of honor has been ushered out, we can then make our way into Kafue room for lunch. The guest of honor and the dignitaries at the high table will be led back to the holding room, and I believe your lunch has been set up right there. So we will indeed hope that all that has been prepared will go very well. But for now, I invite you all to stand as we sing the national anthem together. After the anthem, let's remain standing as the guest of honor is ushered to the waiting room. And like I said, after everything is done, lunch will be served for all of us. The national anthem. Stand and sing of Zambia, proud and free. land of work and joy in unity, victors in the struggle for the right. We've won freedom's fight, all one, strong and free. Africa is our own motherland, fashioned with and blessed by God's good hand. Let us all her people join as one, brothers under the sun, all one, strong and free. One land and one nation is our cry. Dignity and peace need Zambia's sky, like our noble eagle in its flight. Zambia, praise to thee, all one, strong and free. Praise be to God. Bless our great nation. Free men we stand under the flag of our land. Zambia, praise to thee, all one, strong and free. Thank you very much, Honorable Minister, indeed, for gracing. We know you had a long trip yesterday and the past few days, but we're grateful that you gathered the energy and strength to come and grace our occasion today. Thank you, ma'am. All right, and thank you to all of you who came to be with us on this day. Like I said, lunch has been prepared for you in the room next door in the Kafue. So please feel free to make your way there, have your share, and then after that, if you feel like leaving, you're free to do so. Enjoy the rest of the day. Thanks and God bless.